ونستعين ونستهديه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن سيدنا محمدا عبده ورسوله. The hadith which I'd like to share it with you this evening was narrated by a Sahabi by the name An-Nawwas bin Sam'an radiyallahu anhu. قال رسول الله sallallahu, alayhi, wasallam البر حسن الخلق والإثم ما حاك في النفس أو ما حاك في نفسك وكرهت أن يطلع عليه الناس. البر حسن الخلق. البر is the good conduct or the good moral value. حسن الخلق, it is a sign of a good character. والإثم ما حاك في الصدر وكرهت أن يطلع عليه الناس. And the good conduct, some evil deed that you think of doing it or about to do it, is what you feel unease, struggle within yourself about doing it. وكرهت أن يطلع عليه الناس, and you hate that anyone or people see you doing it. Another Sahabi by the name واصبة ibn معبد radiyallahu anhu قال أتيت رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم فقال أتيت تسأل عن البر قلت نعم يا رسول الله. You came to ask me about al-birr, which is a good conduct, good moral values, good virtue. He said, yes, O Prophet Allah, I came to ask you about this. He said, استفتي قلبك, listen to your inner self, to your heart. And البر واطمأنت له نفسك واطمأنت له قلبك. And the birr, the good conduct, the good virtue, is what your inner self is in ease with it. And your heart goes along with it. It's a good conduct. وَالْإِثْمَ مَا حَاكَ فِي نَفْسِكَ وَتَرَدَّدَ فِي صَدْرِكَ. And the bad conduct is what irritates you. There is some inner struggle inside you to prevent you from doing it. And you are in a state of unease. وَإِنْ أَفْتَاكَ النَّاسَ وَأَفْتَوْكَ. Even if people tell you, that's okay, you can do it, nothing wrong with that. As long as you still feel unease about it, don't do it. And it is narrated that Sayyidina Adam, alayhi salam, he advised his children by saying, if you are about to do something, and you feel something inside you tells you that this is not right, don't do it. Because exactly that's what I felt when I was about to eat the forbidden tree. And also, he continued by saying, if you are about to do something and you feel something inside you telling you don't do it, think of the outcome, think of the consequences. If you have been caught doing it, what will be the consequences? You will be feeling shameful, feeling sad, feeling upset, disappointed about doing it. If so, don't do it. Think of that you got caught doing it. If you feel bad at that time, don't do it from the beginning. So don't regret yourself afterwards. And also, Adam is continuing saying, if you can consult somebody, do so. So don't just say, I wish I have asked my friend so-and-so, maybe he can give me a good advice of doing it. Sayyidina Adam said, if I consulted the angels at that time, I'm sure they will tell me, don't eat from the forbidden tree, but it is too late now. So when the Prophet ﷺ says, Al-birru husnul khuluq, the good conduct is a sign of good characters. The Prophet ﷺ himself was a very good example for us of a person of a good conduct. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, وَإِنَّكَ لَعَلَى خُلُقٍ عَظِيمٍ, describes the Prophet, peace be upon him. Truly you are a man of great characters. Sheikh Sha'rawi, rahimahullah, great scholar from Egypt, he passed away a few years back. He said, every Muslim, the very first thing after believing in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, should study the seerah, the life of the Prophet, peace be upon him. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told us in many verses of the Quran, وَإِن تُطِيعُوا الرَّسُولَ مَنْ أَطَاعَ الرَّسُولَ فَقَدْ أَطَاعَ اللَّهَ. Whoever obeyed the Prophet, truly he obeyed Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. لَقَدْ كَانَ لَكُمْ فِي رَسُولِ اللَّهِ أُسْوَةٌ حَسَنَةٌ. Truly, you have in the life of the Prophet a good example to follow. And many, many verses. وَإِن تُطِيعُوهُ يَهْدِيكُم. If you follow him, he will guide you to the straight path. مَنْ أَطَاعَ اللَّهَ فَقَدْ أَطَاعَ الرَّسُولَ. Obeyed Allah, he truly obeyed the Prophet, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And many, many verses like this. And when we look at the characters of the Prophet, peace be upon him, there are books and books this thick about his life. A man of truly good characters to follow. But of course, the time limitation here does not allow me to talk much about it, except a few things I'm just going to pick upon. When the Prophet ﷺ said, "Afshu salam," spread peace. The smile is a sadaqah. Smiling in your face is the face of your brother. It's a sadaqah, it's a charity. Afshu salam. Say assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh to your brothers, even to your family members at home. When you enter the home and say assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah to your wife and your children. Wallahi, even if there is any dispute or argument the night before, it will melt down. They will just think that you forgot about it and things will go and keep going. So because you're mentioning the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, as even Sheikh Kishk rahimahullah says, when you are about to eat and say Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, the name of Allah is most gracious, most merciful. This is like an atomic bomb in the face of the shaitan. He will just run away because there is no place here for him in this house. When you say Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim before eating. And when you meet your brother and say Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, start with it before he starts. And even if he does not answer, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will respond back in his place. As Abdullah bin Mas'ud, Hibrul Ummah, he once said, I wish when I say Assalamu alaikum to my brother or my brothers, they will never respond back, so Allah will respond on their behalf. SubhanAllah. And as we all know that the Prophet ﷺ said that 3 categories of people that Allah does not accept their prayers. And among them is 2 brothers that they are in quarrel with each other. So when we pray, the angels carry the prayers to heaven. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept our prayers. But when it comes to heaven that you are in a quarrel with your brother about anything, as Sheikh Kish says, the minute it just gets out of your head by a handspan, it will be shut down on the ground. It will not reach heaven. Why? Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will say, keep it until they get back to each other. SubhanAllah. And as the Prophet ﷺ said, the limit is 3 days. So don't go beyond 3 days. Even if you have been the right one and he is the wrong person. He is the one who offended you. He is the one who insulted you. Start with Assalamu alaikum. You should be starting. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will appreciate you starting the salam on your brother. So don't get into quarrels among yourselves beyond 3 days. Even if you try to do it before, start and do it before. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept from us. So the salam, if we have this peace among our family members and with our brothers, wallahi, the whole community will be in peace with each other. Then, ma'iyyatullah, to be always feeling that Allah is with you, to be always conscious of Allah. And this month of Ramadan is the month of really being conscious of Allah all the time. So we are fasting means we are always remembering Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Yes,